Hey Racer fans, two big wins for the Racers last week against Bethel and then a Saturday showdown at the Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana. We got the highlights and the reaction coming up next on the Racer Report with Steve Prohm. Hi everybody, Dave Winder here in the CFSB Center with head coach Steve Prohm on this week's Racer Report, and this week's game is a big one. It's a Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock tip-off here at the bank when the Racers play the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky for the 150th time, one of college basketball's greatest rivalries. We'll talk more about that as the day goes along. But head coach Steve Prohm joins us here now after a big win, 82-70 on Saturday at Evansville, coach. And the road thing keeps going on. The Racers have not lost a road game since March of 2011 against Missouri State, which was the last game of that season. 15 road victories in a row since you've become head coach.
That means I got good players. I got resilient players.
Yeah.
My staff did a tremendous job yesterday, and the guys were resilient, and Ed, Isaiah, Stacy, Brandon, they all played like seniors.
Okay, well, it was a great game, and we're going to roll the highlights now and just take a look at it from the Ford Center, just in its second year. And I got to say, that is a palace of an arena. But I tell you what, early on, the Racers had a hard time matching the energy that the Aces brought to the table.
Yeah, we came out a little flat on the defensive end and gave up a couple easy baskets in the half court and in transition, and tried to score a little bit too early. Didn't get a lot of ball reversals. Missed some easy shots, though, after going back and watching the tape last night. Missed a couple layups by Dexter, by Brandon, missed an open three, and we got down 15-2, and we had to kind of restart the whole night.
Well, you know what? It was an emotionally charged game at the beginning, and you see kind of part of it there where Ed kind of got knocked out of bounds, and you were as animated as I've seen you since you were head coach. I mean, you had some issues with a couple of things.
Yeah, and you know what? Going back on the tape, you're not yelling at the ref. You're yelling at the refs, but you're yelling because you're frustrated a little bit just with how you're playing, and you know the guys can get better and play better, and you got to keep your composure. And then I think after about the first 8 minutes, I thought we did a really good job of keeping our composure the rest of the game, and just told our guys, let's start over at the 12-minute mark, and from then on we were really good.
Well, this was probably the part where you started over. Jeffrey Moss, he had issue with, they called it an intentional foul, and you didn't like the call. But it was pretty much after this point, after Evansville turned it into a 4-point play, that's kind of when you turned it around, and then you cut it to 3 by halftime.
Yeah, and going back and looking on the tape, I couldn't see the one angle, and they're saying Jeff hit him from the back, and you can see him put a hand on him in the tape when I watched the tape last night, but I couldn't see it from that angle. It looked from my angle, he did go for the ball. So it was the right call by the refs, and that's why most of the time they're going to be correct. Okay, so Moss hit the 3, and then Daniel got the layup, and now we're here with about 6 minutes to go in the first half. Cannon gets going here. He hits the jumper. And then Brandon Garrett, we mentioned, he is coming along as a senior, 16 points, 8 rebounds. He really gave you a big lift on Saturday. Yeah, he did, and I'm very happy for him. He stepped into his role. Everybody's got to kind of step up. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, with Latrez and Zay, and Brandon stepped in his role, and he's been very good, and I'm proud of the way he's playing, and I'm proud of his effort yesterday especially.
At this point of the game, from the 6-minute mark to about 1:12, the Racers got 8 straight points from Garrett and Daniel. They really made a force in this game, didn't they?
Well, the one thing we've seen and is we can score the basketball inside in the paint this year, and we've got really good guards led by Isaiah Cannon, obviously, but Ed's percentages inside the paint, Brandon's percentages inside the paint are very good. So we love to shoot the 3. Everybody knows that. We shoot a bunch, but sometimes our guys need to look in there and bypass an open 3 to throw it in there.
Well, at the half, with Cannon hitting yet another shot at the end of the half, he's done that so many times, Racers cut it to 3. And then they opened the second half on a 10-1 run. You really turned up the defense, too.
Yeah, Coach Small did a great job. He kind of said this game kind of reminded him a little bit of the Colorado State game, and it did from the standpoint that it wasn't about offense. We needed to turn our defense into offense, and we started to do that.
Well, what a pass there by Fields to Cannon. He got fouled on the play. You know, when you got the ball in the open floor, the Racers really are aggressive pushing that in transition.
They are.
A lot of good things happen when you do that.
They are, and we try to throw alley-oops all the time. And, as a coach, it's a good thing I'm a young coach, so I can kind of just deal with it a little bit better. But the guys play hard. They really want to run and push in transition, and they're unselfish. And that was a good play right there of Stacy giving it off to Brandon.
Yeah, Wilson to Garrett. Now the Racers are up by 5. Did you feel like once the Racers got the lead, maybe you could really start pressing it and pushing it out?
Yeah, the one thing about Evansville, Coach Simmons does a great job, but the way they play offensively, you know, they're very patient, and they're going to turn the clock over some, and they're going to have to they run some clock in order to get a free open good look against your defense. So once we got up 5-10, once we were in that 10 to 15 range, I felt good because it's going to take them a while to get back in the game.
Well, you just see the emotion there. The Racers, the timeout was called. Wilson made a great drive to the hoop right there. And then, you know, Isaiah Cannon can be a little quiet for a while, and then, man, he just hits you with that burst.
He did.
Is that not fun to watch?
Yeah, you know, he had 6 points at half,
yeah.
And he came back at 15 in the second half and was 3 for 3 from the 3, had 2 in transition off really good plays, and had 1 off our baseline action, and did some really good things right there on that one thing going back. Now, he did get hit. He got hit on that one. They probably missed that. But, you know, he's a tremendous player. The one thing he did, he turned the ball over too much yesterday, and it's just trying to, you know, he got one at the end of the game with a 5-second call, just trying to dribble the clock out. But some of it was just trying to do too much too quick in the shot clock.
Well, that kind of made everybody kind of gasp a little bit, and we'll see in the next segment there was a play in the Bethel game where he went flying over the table. You know, Isaiah's a tough hombre, though.
Tough kid, you know, and competes. And the one thing we loved about him yesterday is he really defended. He had to defend yesterday, and outside of those first 8 minutes of the game, he really defended and guarded well. And, you know, he got hit in the eye. It's kind of his eye and his head that's bothering him today, but he'll be fine by Sunday.
Well, Daniel gets a rebound and a putback right there, and the Racers were really rolling at about the 3-minute mark of this game. They went out to their biggest lead of 14, and then after that, it just seemed like once you got the lead, you were able to spread the floor a little bit, and then, boy, Wilson can take advantage of that.
Yeah, he did a great job. He was very efficient, made some good plays, was very unselfish, you know, giving it up to Brandon a couple times, and I thought Stacy defensively, though, did a good job. He's been great for us, getting better, you know, with his turnovers, getting better with his shot selection, and, you know, outside of really the Colorado game, you know, if he had his scoring that game, you know, it could have been a different outcome, but we need him to play well.
Well, it was good to see, you know, Isaiah took a little knock there, but he did come back in the game, made a nice steal and a layup right there, and then the Racers just really, down the stretch, didn't give Evansville any chance to get back in the game. Daniel stepped back and hit that jump shot that we've seen him make many, many times, and the Racers ended up going on to win this game by the score of 82-70. And you take a look at the stats here. The Racers put 4 in double figures. That's 6 straight double-doubles for Ed Daniel, 21 and 15. And then there's Brandon Garrett's 16 and 8, which are career highs for him. But then, Coach, there in the second half, you held Evansville to under 35% shooting. That was key.
Yeah, that was the difference of the game. You know, we were able to score off our defense. We defended them better in the second half, and outside of really the last minute of the game, I think they scored about 8 points in the last minute of the game with a couple threes and a layup. So, you know, it could have been easily about 25-point half, and that's terrific on the road against a Missouri Valley Conference team.
Okay, so big win for the Racers. They moved to 7-1. They've won 4 in a row since their only loss to Colorado in the Charleston Classic. And later on in the show today, we're going to go inside the Murray State locker room. You ever wonder what it's like after a big Murray State win? We're going to do that a little bit later. And coming up next, we're going to take a look at the other win from this week against the Bethel Wildcats.
Explora un nuevo mundo.
여러 가지 경험들을 많이 체험하세요.
आइए और अपना जहां खुद बनाइए.
Ichalo chenu ukusanga.
عالم جدير بالاكتشافات.
Entdecke deine Welt.
Swój świat do odkrycia.
Dünyanızı keşfedin.
創造你的未來.
Feresve velünk a világot.
Tất cả những điều tốt đẹp nhất đang chờ đón bạn.
Dunia Anda untuk dijelajahi.
探索你的世界。
Murray State University, your world to explore.
Roof Brothers, a Paducah tradition for 100 years. Roof Brothers, locally owned, family run. Roof Brothers, the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits found anywhere. Roof Brothers, service from selecting that special beverage for that special occasion to a keg party at the lake. Roof Brothers, 2 locations to serve you. Roof Brothers, proud supporters of Murray State Athletics.
Hi folks, and welcome back to the Racer Report with head coach Steve Prohm. We've already seen the highlights from the second win of the week against Evansville, 82-70. Now let's go back to last Tuesday when the Racers were here at the CFSB Center against the Bethel Wildcats. And this was a game, Coach. I think you guys had 6 days off in between games, and a good time to get back to practice, and then to have this game right in there on December 4th was a good spot for it.
Yeah, it was good. You know, we have 29 games on our schedule. We're allotted 30, and we just really couldn't fit another game in our schedule. We could have maybe put one on that Saturday when we had the week off, but to get our guys some good practice time was huge. I thought we defended better in this game, and these are kind of like our guarantee games. We can't buy some of the lower Division I teams. We have to get Bethel and
in Brescia early in the season,
and those time Freed Hardman, those teams. Those are our bye games, just like Kentucky has their bye games. So, but it's a good opportunity to get everybody involved in the game and play a lot of minutes, play a lot of guys.
Well, one thing you could say about this game, Coach, and we're at the point here, we're about 13 minutes in. You see C.J. Ford hit a 3 there. It was 20-3 to start, and you're in a game that you're supposed to win by a good margin. But your team came out like they didn't even really know who they were playing. Is that kind of what you're looking for?
Well, that's what we wanted, and I thought our starters did that. I think you said 20-3. We got up, and we just defended better. We did a lot of things better. Some of it you look at the competition, but just being in the right spots defensively, passing the ball, running the floor like you see right there with Ed's finish. They came out with the right mindset and got a big lead and kind of was on cruise control from there.
Well, as we've gone along here on the show this season, we do get glimpses of the new guys, and they're getting worked in. There's Taryn Gilmore from Jackson, Mississippi. I think we saw Eric McCree here in the first half as well. We will see him, I think, on the next play. But these new guys have really come a long way since last summer when they got here on campus for the first time.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. You hear everybody talk about, well, the freshmen aren't statting. Well, we've been dealt a different hand this year. We had 5 freshmen. Tyler Rambo's situation didn't allow him to practice last year. Well, when you bring in 5 freshmen, you're not expecting to play 5 guys. We were expecting to redshirt a couple guys. We didn't know Latrez was going to tear his Achilles. We didn't know the situation with Zay Jackson was going to happen. So now they're thrown into the fire, but we've got some experience. So we need those guys to come in there, know their role, defend and rebound, because that's their role right now on this year's team.
And to play well, for as long as you need them to play well. Racers up 39-18 at half here against Bethel. Daniel gets a nice run-out dunk. And you know what? You go to some games, you might need C.J. Ford to play 5 minutes. You might need him to play 10 minutes. You might need Zay Henderson to come off the bench and get you a couple minutes here and there.
Every game's different, but you see it, the growth of Zay Henderson. The one thing he does, and you said it last night on the telecast with the Evansville game, is he rebounds the basketball every time he's in there. I was most impressed the last minute of the game in Evansville. He goes in, he hedges the ball screen, he gets back in, he gets the rebound. CJ's getting better defensively watching tape. And Jeffrey Moss is the most advanced and ahead of all the guys, just with IQ and understanding what we're doing in the game. But with him, he got hurt. So then he got, and that hurt us against Colorado, and he missed a couple games. So they're doing a good job. It was hard to play him against Evansville because we got down 15-2.
Right.
You know, we had to change our lineup and go small and get back in the game.
Did you kind of hold your breath when Cannon went flying over the table late in the Bethel game?
Yeah, you know, you never want him to get hurt.
No, that's for sure.
You know, not just for his sake. You know, more importantly for his sake, because he's got a bright future.
Yep. How about Tyler Rambo? He got extended minutes in this game, had 8 points, I think 4 rebounds.
You know, he's doing a good job. You know, when you have 6 freshmen, it's hard to, you know, find a niche for all of them. But, you know, he's a guy when we play 4 guards that he may have an opportunity to get in there and play some as the 4, as a smaller 4. But they're doing a good job and they're getting better.
Well, you see the final score there, 76-54. Racers defeated Bethel. Balanced scoring in this one with Ed Daniel at that time getting his 5th straight double-double. He had another double-double against Evansville, so it's 6 straight for him now, and he's playing very, very well. So we're going to take another break here on the Racer Report with head coach Steve Prohm, and when we come back, we're going to hear from Brandon Garrett, who, of course, had career highs in points and rebounds against Evansville on Saturday. We'll do that when we come back next.
Roof Brothers, a Paducah tradition for 100 years. Roof Brothers, locally owned, family run. Roof Brothers, the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits found anywhere. Roof Brothers, service from selecting that special beverage for that special occasion to a keg party at the lake. Roof Brothers, 2 locations to serve you. Roof Brothers, proud supporters of Murray State Athletics.
Like the thoroughbreds we are named for, racers are spirited and proud. We have the heart and will to succeed, to go farther, learn more, and embrace wisdom. We are champions who take our place in the Murray State tradition. We are racers.
Hi folks, and welcome back to the Racer Report with head coach Steve Prohm. After the win at Evansville on Saturday, we had a chance to catch up with senior Brandon Garrett, a career-high 16 points and a career-high 8 rebounds.
Just going into the game, as Coach Kane, he always on me about just play do your role, and that's what I pretty much did this evening. Just did everything the team needed me to do. When my man doubled up on Isaiah, I was just trying to be a release guy for him and potentially get the ball back in his hands and try to get him off another screen, you know, and then luckily tonight it just ended up back in my hands off the pick and roll. So.
Well, good to catch up with Brandon Garrett. They're really happy for him to have a breakout game. The Racers needed him to have a breakout game. But, you know, it was in the post game that the media asked Ed Daniel, what does it mean when the other team has to guard another guy down low too? Well, what does it mean? That's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, well, it frees different people up. And, you know, Evansville has doubled the post a lot this year so far, and we thought they made double Ed, and we worked on it the last couple of days. But, you know, with all the attention drawn to Isaiah off the ball screens, people staying with him, 2 or 3 different guys, we were able to get Brandon open on the backside a lot. But he competed yesterday, and he's playing well, and we're going to need that as we go along in our season.
Okay, so the Racers have started the same lineup every game. They've got the 4 seniors and junior Dexter Fields in there, and I really don't see any reason why that should be changing anytime soon, right?
No, that won't change, and it shouldn't change all season long. Yeah. You know, we got to get Latrez back, you know, and he's working his way back in. But, you know, we got a niche and just got to keep figuring out our rotation. Okay, so the Racers percolating along here pretty well at 7-1. Western Kentucky's coming up here at the arena on Sunday. We'll be talking about that. But in just a moment, we're going to go inside the Murray State locker room, let you see what it's like
once the team gets in there after a big ball game. We'll do that next on the Racer Report.
Like the thoroughbreds we are named for, racers are spirited and proud. We have the heart and will to succeed, to go farther, learn more, and embrace wisdom. We are champions who take our place in the Murray State tradition. We are racers.
Roof Brothers, a Paducah tradition for 100 years. Roof Brothers, locally owned, family run. Roof Brothers, the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits found anywhere. Roof Brothers, service from selecting that special beverage for that special occasion to a keg party at the lake. Roof Brothers, 2 locations to serve you. Roof Brothers, proud supporters of Murray State Athletics.
Hi folks, and welcome back to the Racer Report with head coach Steve Prohm. One of the joys of this job for me is being around the student athletes and the Murray State coaching staff and the support staff. And there's nothing better than going into the Murray State locker room after a big win, which we did on Saturday. Check it out.
Really good 30 minutes. They scored 70 points. They probably scored about 40 points the last 30 minutes of the game. You know, outside of probably maybe even less than that, because we gave up a couple threes and layups in the last minute. We probably gave up 8 points in the last minute. But tremendous job. So it's a 40-minute game. Okay, I lost my wits the first 8 minutes. Nobody was playing. Settled down. We got back in the game, and the defense won out. That's why you got to guard every day. Freshmen that came in gave us good minutes. Other freshmen didn't play. Okay, keep working, keep working. Every game's different. Okay, you never know. Zay, what I'm most proud of you about, you came in and for the last 30 seconds, you hedged the hell out of that ball screen. That means you were ready. Okay, it means I know I can count on you. Okay, good job, Pep. Stay in it. Talk to some of these other guys. All right, Stacy as a junior, he didn't play much last year as a junior. Okay, we need everybody though. Okay, so stay positive. This is a really good win against a team that's going to win a lot of good games in the Missouri Valley Conference. Brandon, great job today. Tremendous job, Ed. Ed, a good job again. That's expected from you. But tremendous job. Guys, remember, just keep doing the right thing, keep working. Way to go. Good work going into the finals. Let's go. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Boom!
Well, Coach, I appreciate you letting our camera in the locker room after a big victory for the Racers. But those are special times. Everybody's in there. They hear from you. But we also had a special visitor with us on the bench and inside our locker room. Kevin Newell was with us on Saturday.
Yeah, and it's great. He won the trip with the Racers in that sneakers and scholarships auction, and was good to have him around. And he very complimentary. I asked him if he had a good time and on the way home, and very complimentary in just how we run our program and how our kids handle themselves. And not everybody gets to see that on a day-to-day basis, but right. We got great kids, and he got to see a weekend look at how we function.
It was really neat. And you also had another visitor from the University of Evansville. Tell us about him.
Yeah, Bryce Wheeler, a 21-year-old junior who's blind, is a big, huge basketball fan, sits on the bench at all the Evansville games. And he reached out to me a couple months ago to come speak to our team, and I wanted him to come to our team meeting the night before the game and talk to our guys, and just to let him see his passion for the game of basketball, and more just a lot of life lessons that he translated to our guys.
Well, it was great to have him with us on Saturday, and also great to have Kevin with us as well. Okay, our final break coming up here on the Racer Report. When we come back, we'll look ahead to Sunday's game against Western Kentucky, and we'll do that next.
Explora un nuevo mundo.
여러 가지 경험들을 많이 체험하세요.
आइए और अपना जहां खुद बनाइए.
Ichalocen ukusanga.
عالم جدير بالاكتشافات.
Entdecke deine Welt.
Свой świat do odkrycia.
Dünyanızı keşfedin.
創造你的未來。
Ferestre velünk a világot.
Tất cả những điều tốt đẹp nhất đang chờ đón bạn.
Dunia Anda untuk dijelajahi.
探索你的世界。
Murray State University, your world to explore.
Roof Brothers, a Paducah tradition for 100 years. Roof Brothers, locally owned, family run. Roof Brothers, the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits found anywhere. Roof Brothers, service from selecting that special beverage for that special occasion to a keg party at the lake. Roof Brothers, 2 locations to serve you. Roof Brothers, proud supporters of Murray State Athletics.
We're back here on the set of the Racer Report with head coach Steve Prohm inside the CFSB Center for the Racers, wrapping up this show this week. Coach, real quick, let's take a look at the OVC standings with Eastern Kentucky got a big win at Chattanooga. They still haven't lost a game. They're in the East Division, still leading it. In the Racers Division in the West, the Racers are 7-1. Southeast Missouri State played really well at Missouri for a long, long time on Saturday. So we're kind of moving closer and closer to league play, which will be coming on right after the first of the year. And then taking a look at the Racers' schedule, Coach, we got Western Kentucky coming up on Sunday, and then 2 Arkansas State and Dayton, and then Valpo after Christmas. And you could see also there all the TV opportunities that you've got too. The Racer TV network is on there too with ESPN3. There's a game on CBS at Dayton. ESPNU is going to carry the game at SEMO after the first of the year. So a lot going on, and I know you just take them one game at a time though, right, Coach?
Yeah, you know, right now it's thinking about practice, getting our team better this week, getting through finals, but we do need a great crowd. It needs to be our first sellout. These kids are deserving of it. You know, we had a decent crowd against Bethel last Tuesday, but there was a lot of empty seats that I'd hate to have filled with red come next Sunday. So it needs to be navy and gold in here, and we need to have 8,500 in here.
That's right. It's a 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon start, and the Murray State women's team, they'll be going for their 7th straight win at noon against Alabama A&M. So it's a men's-women's doubleheader on Saturday. 150th meeting between the two teams, and you've talked about this before. And this is your 8th year at Murray State, seventh, 5 and yep, going into 2 as a head coach. You know, it's a special game.
It's a big game. You know, I've been here so long now. It's a huge game for me and for our staff, and I know how much it means to the people in this area and the alumni and the former players. But it's a great rivalry because both programs have such great tradition, and got a lot of respect for Coach Harper and the job he's doing this year with his guys. He's got a great track record as a head coach, and Western's got a good team. They're 8-2, and led by George Fant, T.J. Price, and Jamal Crook. We're going to have to play extremely well. Okay, Coach, we'll look forward to it Sunday. Thanks, Dave. Okay, head coach Steve Prohm, we'll see you next time on the Racer Report. And as we leave you today, here's the voice of the Racers, Neil Bradley.
Pass comes to Wilson. Wilson rejects the screen, gets it to Garrett. Right side to Moss. Moss looking for Cannon, didn't get it to him. Now Garrett goes up for the leaner, missed. Daniel rebounds and stuffed it in! And Daniel with an authoritative slam dunk. And it's a 12-point Racer lead.